Go to Tracy Brown Live. Go to Tracy Brown Live. Gals and guys, go to Tracy Brown Live. Go to Tracy Brown Live. Go to Tracy Brown Live. Gals and guys, go to Tracy Brown Live. Go to Tracy Brown Live. Go to Tracy Brown Live. Gals and guys, go to Tracy Brown Live. Go to Tracy Brown Live. Go to Tracy Brown Live.
Hey everyone, how are you today? Come aboard, come aboard, come on, come on. We do have a lot of things to cover. Oh, I put it here. I remember. Oh, I got too many brushes, guys. I remember what I did with it. Come. We have so many things to do, so many things to talk about. All right. Powder. Tired of buying makeup. Oh, wait. Come. We cannot waste time here. Come. Get into class, everyone. Sit down. We must discuss. Need these glasses so I can read this book. I gotta read it. All right. Hello. How are you all? Let me say hello to the people that are showing up on time. Jenny G, hello. No, hello. Tiffany, hello. These are the ones that get extra points. Yes. On the test. Yes. Michelle Bell, hello. Need one more. These are the teacher's pets. I don't like that. These are the teacher's favorites. Ha. They come on time. They respond. They make me laugh. I got other favorites, but some of y'all are working, so we forgive the workers. Like the nurses and stuff. You know, they try to catch me, but if they're not on their break, what am I supposed to do? But they still be my favorite. Like Carlito. Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. Didn't think I would call you out, huh, Carlito? You never know. We just never know. All right. Jess. Hi. Good help, you all. Good help. Hi, Michelle Bell. All right. We got a couple of things to do. And both are important things. Like, what is Heather's name that was on? Oh, look at this. Oh, today's my son's birthday. Happy birthday, son. Happy birthday. Let me just tell Ezra before I forget.
So my friend's getting married.
Hey, Ez. Oh, your daddy. It's his birthday. I have to think about what I should get Ezra for his birthday. I should go visit him for his birthday. He's so close to me now. Ezra gets on my nerves. He literally calls himself king. But we can't stop him. We're like, no, you cannot be the king. You can be a prince. You can grow into a king. But he doesn't listen to us. He literally labels himself King Ezra. I don't know what jump back gene into the Bible this kid is going into. To pull that rabbit out of the hat. But we actually, none of us can stop it. Not his mama, not his daddy, not his stepmama, not his grandmamas. The boy thinks he's the shit. And in my opinion, he is. All right. Heather Thompson. Look at you, Michelle. Thank you so much. Hey, Steph. How are you? Hi, Stephen. How are you? There is so much to go over. We're going to look at Heather Thompson, who said that she worked for P. Diddy and bragged about it on Real Housewives of New York. Over the years, I used to actually love Heather. And over the last few years, as she's made some guest appearances, I have learned that she's a bitch. And very sneaky and underhanded. And very two-faced. Leah hated her. And now I see Leah had good cause to hate her. So, struggle picture with Colton. How are you? So what should I do first, guys? Should I read the book or should I read on Heather? Because tonight we're going to read on Janet Jackson that has a half-black baby. Everybody forgot she has a half-black baby. I don't know what race her baby is. I want to see if Janet ruined her career. Because stupidity definitely walked into the table. You want to be stupid? Open your mouth, people. You want to show people who you are and how ridiculously dumb you are? Speak. Doesn't take much. She should have just been dancing and concerting and getting her money that way. No, she had to speak. I can't right now. I can't. The anger. I just don't understand how you want people to love you. And you could put down someone that did nothing to you. Nothing. So you must be a Trump supporter then. We're giving you all this money in your concerts to watch you gyrate, mostly, because you can't dance. We're giving you all this money for you to tell us you're a Trump supporter? Well, okay, but we don't have to support you anymore. That's fine. But we don't have to support you anymore. All right, I'm just saying. It was disappointing, Noelle. Yes. Oh, her brother manager seems to be a Trumper, so he must be putting these things in her ear. Why is she even following politics? You should be sleeping contouring. Sleeping contouring. You should be like, what day is it? Let alone what color Kamala is. She's more black than your child. It's dumb. All right, we'll do her tonight. Personally, you all have never really heard me say a good thing about Janet. I'm very cautious. I did not like the way she forced her mother, who tried to run away from them, concubine children of hers, and how they tried to force her to sign a statement, probably to give up all the titles, that catalog that Michael Jackson had back to the Beatles guy, Paul Revere, whatever his name is. Sign right there, mother. Sign right there. Yeah, that was on video. That's when Catherine tried to escape them. Nobody knew where Catherine was. It's hilarious. She ran from her own family. That included you, Janet. So, we're not going to talk about Janet today. Book first or Heather first? This coffee is good, but not that good. Also, catch the 1 minute uh, takes with Jaguar. To be honest with you, Jaguar scares me. It's truth, half truth, but she's kind of scares me. Scares me. Scares me. All right. Yeah, there's something off with her, and I want to believe in her. Yeah, there's something off with her. I want to believe in her, and I believe everything that she says, right? It's just the dramatics that is beginning to bother me, you know? And maybe because I'm a drama filled person, right? Maybe I'm jealous. No, no, not jealous. I'm annoyed. I'm wondering if she's a drinker. Could be. She definitely has mental illness, like the manic kind. So, oh, everybody says book, and everybody meaning two people. All right, guys, let's begin this book. I really need some background music, but that's not happening. Oh my God. Hold on, guys. Here we go. Here we go. Okay, that wasn't what I was looking for. All right, Jaguar Wright and Orlando both scare me. True, but I think they play crazy to save their lives. Okay, Tiffany, I'm out. I'm down for that. Um, all right, chapter 1. This is the introduction, actually. Soon after high school, I started landing modeling jobs. I couldn't believe it. It was happening so fast. I met my husband, father of my oldest child, and one of my oldest friends in life, I'll be sure. It was a whirlwind romance. I was only 19 when we married. And no, it didn't work out. Al is still one of my best friends to this day. Our son Quincy is such a talented and wonderful young man. At this time, I had no idea my relationship with Al was going to introduce me to the man that I would spend the better part of my adult life with. A man whom I loved and cherished, and eventually feared and hated. I don't know what to put the cart before the horse. I don't want to put the cart before the horse, but I will say, although I knew what was going on, I turned a blind eye many times. Here I tell this truth. Unfortunately, because deep down I know everything that was happening, but I lied to myself a lot. He was so charming, a wolf in sheep's clothing, a devil, and I fell for it. This story must be told despite the fact that it will hurt my children. I cannot hide it any longer. I was born to loving parents, Jake Porter and Sarah L. Porter, in the peach state of Georgia, all through Columbus High School, where I graduated in 1988. I knew I was going to be famous. In the 10th grade, one of my best friends, Tina, said to me, "You won't make it here in Georgia." I know if I really wanted to be famous, I would have to leave my hometown and my home, Georgia. This conversation was so important as I look back now. It changed my life. I met Al while I was working in the industry. He was so dope and charming, and I had such a crush on him. We were married before I knew it, and Quincy was on the way. But I was young, and it just felt like it wasn't going to last. It was a little heated between us after we separated, but we got past that quickly. He's such a super dope guy, an amazing father. Though we separated, we were forever bonded through Quincy. Thank you, Al. I will always love you. When I met Sean, he was cool. I didn't think much of him at the time. He was just another guy at the label. Uptown was huge. And we were all living our best life. But Sean continued to lay on the charm. And before I knew it, the hottest parties in the world. Sean kept reaching out, and I kept ignoring his calls. Eventually, in a few weeks, we ran into each other at an event. He came over and sat next to me. We were cordial. He flattered me by saying, "You look amazing." I replied with the simple thanks, Sean. I tried to get up to leave, but he pulled my arm. As I turned to him, he looked deep into my eyes and he said, "Look, what happened between us was weird, but I really care about you. Can we?" He paused, and I tried to use this pause as my attempt to escape. I pulled my hand back and said, "Sorry, Sean. I have to go." "Please, I think I'm falling in love with you." Did he say he loved me? It was so fast. I wasn't aware of this as his manipulation tactic. Not yet. God, I was so young. So naive. But 2 days later, we went out for drinks at a lounge in Lower Manhattan. The place was nice. Sean was really coming up and pulling out all the stops to impress me. Always a gentleman. He smiled and said, "Look," as he sat down across from me. I hated it, and I never wanted to do it again. We were living the dream, and I dreamt about, let me see something. This is, how do I get this away? I can't. All right. We were living the dream, and I thought about my youth, and Sean and Clive were working on Bad Boy, and he had his first couple of artists. He picked up Craig Mack, then some rapper from the West Coast called Notorious Big to help Chris develop. He was collaborating with the biggest names in hip hop to make it happen. Things could not be more amazing. Then he asked me to do it again. It was insane. Sean said, "Baby, I can't stop thinking about you." "What the hell are you talking about?" I responded. Sean continued, "I just can't stop thinking about that night. It was amazing. Can you screw me one more time? Please." I became infuriated. "Why don't you go to Clive? He's the one you're screwing, isn't he?" Then Sean hit me. This was the first time, but he slapped me so hard Before I could form words, he began to beg. I'm sorry, holding my cheek where he hit me. I turned and ran off. That should have been it. But I guess I'm a glutton for punishment. He sent flowers and a bunch of expensive gifts. Then we bumped into each other at another industry party. He sat down next to me. This was deja vu. Sean started, imagine running into you here. Get the fuck away from me, I forced out. He became more serious as he said, look, baby, I'm sorry. But I just glared at him. There is nothing you could say to me, nothing. After an awkward silence, he finished, you know I love you. I love your son. He's my son. I don't know how to fix this, but I'll do anything. I'm sorry. Shit, he can be so sweet. He was great with Quincy, and to be honest, despite everything, I missed him. As he stood to walk away, I remember hearing myself saying, call me later. What the fuck was wrong with me? Sean arrived with flowers in his hand. He wanted to see Quincy. He was so good with him, and Quincy ran over to him and hugged him. I felt my heart melting. He asked Quincy, how you doing, Tiger? Quincy looked so innocent as he responded, I'm good. I missed you. Sean's response sounded genuine. I miss you too. We'll hang out tomorrow, okay? Okay. Sean gave him a little love tap on the butt. It's bedtime, Quincy, I replied. Okay, good night, as he turned to head toward his bedroom. Here was the man I fell in love with, but what was I thinking? Shit, not only does he want butt plugs, he slapped the shit out of me. So why am I still talking to him? They say love is blind, but it's stupid too. As Quincy left, Sean looked at me and smiled. Baby, let's go have some fun. The babysitter is on the way. I just want to show you a good time. I was so mad at myself for melting, as I said. Okay. We sat on the couch laughing and genuinely having a good time. When the doorbell rang, the babysitter had arrived, and so we left. As we exited the house, a big man climbed out of the limo and opened the door. He wore a sharp suit with the shirt noticeably tucked under his arm. I thought to myself, I could have made it invisible, or did he want me to see it? I guess he had a gun tucked under his arm. These pages aren't the best angles. She did the best she can, so I'm not mad. Let's see. Oh, this is where Jean walks in. Despite my reservations, Jean was a sweetheart. He was very courteous and polite, as he tipped his head and said, "Good evening, ma'am." Jean threw a smile out of me as I responded, "Hello." Jean and I would see each other a lot after this day. The year passed, and thankfully we didn't have many bad arguments, although Sean was strangely getting into voodoo. He would put curses on people. My God. And I wasn't sure how to respond to that craziness. My problem as a single mother was I wanted to be married. He always had excuses and delays when it came to committing to marriage. His label was blowing up, Biggie dropped, and it was just about over. He also signed Mary J. Blige, and of course, when I found out he slept with her, we fought. He claimed it was a mistake, and my stupid ass took him back. Again. Sean asked me for a threesome with her. First, I was mad. Mary was beautiful. It was our first threesome, and I loved it. Mary was sexy. I would not be doing this a lot, but it was so hot. I was young. Exploring my sexuality was enticing. Over the years, he brought other women into our bedroom periodically, and we were happy. This is until one day I came home to a situation that went from awkward to nightmare. Quincy was with the babysitter, and Sean was sitting with Al B. Sure at the dinner table. I had a child with Al, and Sean was the father in Quincy's life. The awkwardness of all of this being together had dissolved. Hold on. Where's my phone? The awkwardness of us being together had dissolved a long time ago. But it was still weird that they were here in my home together, alone. I sat down and we had drinks. It was fun. The conversation was cool until it wasn't. Loose, after a couple of drinks, I remember him saying, "It's still weird seeing you with my friend, but you're happy. So I'm happy for you guys." Sean responded, "Thanks, man. Me and you, we've shared so much." Al replied coolly, "Word." The conversation took an odd and awkward turn when Sean said, "We all been together sexually, but not together." I was shocked for the moment as the quickness lingered into the room. The quietness lingered into the room. I asked, "What do you mean by all together?" Al shifted uncomfortably, but Sean didn't hesitate. "You know how we sometimes invite other people into our bedroom?" I couldn't believe it. Oh, hell no. "Sean, this is my son's father." "Al, say something." What Al said was mind boggling. "I don't know. It could be kind of hot." I miss you in that way. Although I couldn't believe Sean would do this, but the truth was, I still cared about Al. And this could be very hot. I just didn't want it messing up my relationship and all the things became awkward. How would it affect Quincy? So I asked, "Are you both sure?" And I imagined both of them inside of me. I knew this would be awkward sexually. There would be some bumping of the genitals, but what happened next, I couldn't imagine in my wildest dreams. I'll X X X X X X X X X X X X. I couldn't believe it. I stood there in shock. But when Sean X X X X X X X X X X X X X X X X, I ran out the room. This was too much. I couldn't. Sean called out to me, "Oh, come on, Kimmy." They didn't chase after me. They X X X X X X X X X X X X. I couldn't get the image out of my mind. I couldn't be with Sean for a while. But that wouldn't be the last time I saw Sean in a compromising position. Not by a long shot. One day, I found the vault where he kept all his encounters with men. Yes, he kept a record of it. But that's for later. The next chapter is chapter 6, and it's called Biggie took over East Coast hip hop, and Sean was the brilliant mind that orchestrated it. He hired people to teach Chris how to flow and write with his lyrics. He hired the best producers to do the beats, although he took credit for them, and the music was unstoppable. At this point, Sean was sleeping with all the power players, and everyone that wanted to do music wanted to be a bad boy. Sean wheeled and dealed in a way that would have been unthinkable to many. He slept with the guys that really controlled the music to stay on top. Oh God. I just need to have I need to do something. Hold on, guys. Because I just don't want to have commentary, because I can be so dramatic with my commentary, and that's not going to help me read this book. So, where I want to talk about something later, I'm going to put bells. He slept with the guys that really controlled the music to stay on top. A lot of the names average people have never heard of. These are the guys that make the decision on who is winning and who is not. He hosted parties that were just a fancy name for orgies, and everyone wanted in. When I met Tupac, Sean and I had an open relationship. And yes, I slept with Tupac. Shit, he was so sexy. Sean didn't mind. Well, not until he tried to get Pac to join both of us. Pac was not good with that. This is where the relationship between them became strained. Tupac wasn't going to accept Sean's advances. Pac wasn't gay. And he was pissed about the advances. We were all in Sean's house. I was drinking, they were smoking, everyone was relaxing. Sean came in on what I sure he would call a smooth approach. My baby is bad, isn't she? Pac threw a sly smile. Hell yeah. I felt myself blush. Sean was now in full swing. You think you hit it better than me? I couldn't believe he disrespected me that way. I was not playing with my response, Sean. What the fuck? Pac came to my defense. Damn, bro. You ain't got to do that, sister, that way. Tupac appeared upset behind Sean's words, but Sean went in for the kill regardless. I think my D is bigger than yours. I bet I could make her come faster than you. What's up? Pac was appalled. What the fuck are you talking about, my ninja? I ain't trying to run no fucking train. Sean continued. What you scared of? Let's see who F's better. Let her be the judge. Yes, and at this point, he had been inviting others into my bed for a while. But I'm not used to this, and I will not stand for this disrespect. I was the only one upset, Pac shouted. Ninja! You talking about pulling your F&D out? Sean was undaunted. What, you scared? Tupac simply left. Things were contentious after that. The two could not be in the same room. Pac avoided me as much as he did Sean. When they did bump into each other, the tension was palpable. It felt like blows could be thrown at any moment. Months passed with only the tension between them. It was uncomfortable, but nothing like life with Daff. Then one day we were at the studio. It happened. I walked into Sean's office, and he was having the conversation. Sean sat across from Jimmy Henchman. Pac don't leave that effing studio alive. Thank God. Pac don't leave that effing studio alive. I don't think I was supposed to hear it. I continued, as if I didn't. Hey, Sean. Good morning, Jimmy. They didn't seem to think I heard anything. I'm ordering breakfast, smiling. Sean replied first. Let me get some eggs, sunny side up, and grits, and an orange juice. I could see he was hungover. Good. I don't want him knowing I know. And if he just put a hit on Pac, knowingly something could be dangerous, Jimmy, apparently not hungry, said nothing to me. As he stood to exit the room, he said to Sean, let's make that happen. Then nodded to me and said, Kim, always a pleasure. With a wink and a nod to Sean, he turned and walked out. Jimmy was part of our intimate circle. I went on as if nothing happened. I'll make the call. I went on as if nothing was happening. I'll make the call now. I smiled as I left, hoping I wasn't white as sheet. I wasn't in the studio the night Park survived being shot. Thank God. From what I understand, Sean and Chris saw Pac at the studio after he'd been shot and did nothing. The way God works after being shot. Pac made it to the elevator and tried to escape, but it stopped at the floor Sean and Chris were on. When the doors opened, they saw him lying on the floor, riddled with bullets. The fact that they didn't call an ambulance, although they saw Pac lying there, swimming in a pool of his own blood, would be all the evidence Pac ever needed. He, of course, assumed they placed a hit. And Tupac is a soldier. This is not something that will be unanswered. Tupac didn't do well. He lost a testicle, but he survived. It was orchestrated by Sean Puffy Combs, was the orchestrator. So now we're finding out, unique, that it was not staged. It was a real problem. It was never staged. So let's read the book and look at it from a different perspective now. Now you don't have to believe anything you've ever heard. Now let's read the book and fill in the blanks. This was never staged. This was a problem between folks, and the problem was real. Thank you, Jess. Any awkward silence is so I can place the comments. So just know that if I'm silent, there are comments that I'm posting. Let me get over here. At this point, I knew I had to get away from him, but I was scared. And he was going to take my life if I tried to escape. One Friday evening, I thought I found my opportunity at dinner after an event. We were all at a ritzy restaurant in a private booth. It was an exclusive setup. We were alone, but we were in public. Perfect. Sean was on the phone talking to an unknown listener as he sat down. His words on that call will be etched in my mind forever. We're going to release who shot you now. He waited for a response and then went on to say, of course, they're going to think Big was talking about Pac. That's the whole fucking point. Nobody give a F about a diss track against LL effing Cool J. Do you know how much money he'll make with this kind of rap beef? Ninjas battling after someone really got shot? This may not be the best time for this conversation. Sean was finishing up. We drop that shit tomorrow. He listened into the phone and responded, there's going to be blood in the streets. Ninjas missed. Pac's alive. Let's capitalize on this shit. When he responds, it's just gonna mean more money. He turned around and looked at me. Spoke back into the phone. I'll call you back. Then hung up. What's wrong? I tried my best to give a fake smile at what I heard. After all, me and Pac were intimate. I responded, nothing. Sean wasn't fooled. Are you sure? His demeanor was threatening, but I responded as cool as I could muster to his intimidating stare. Yeah, of course. He took my hand, saying, that's wonderful. He began to squeeze my hand until it hurt as he continued. Because seeing you walk in the office while I was talking about killing that mother effer and you not saying shit to me had me just a little concerned. His grip was starting to hurt badly. You're hurting me. As he continued, he squeezed tighter. You're pretending you didn't know anything was a sign of your loyalty to me. Not something I should be concerned with. Right? I had no choice but to give him the answer he wanted. I knew I was trapped when I responded, "Of course I'm loyal to you." He let me go as he responded, "Good. And remember, I'm the big D." Should I have put this on TikTok? I snatched my hand back in pain. He smiled and said, "Let's start off with some good wine." He snapped his fingers, and his favorite wine was poured for him. They knew what Sean wanted, and what he wanted, he got. I'm trapped. Now isn't the time for me to launch my escape plan. I have to be strategic. It's going to be hard to leave this glamour, the glitz, the lifestyle. I mean, this man just snapped his fingers in one of the most exclusive restaurants in New York City, and they poured his drink of choice. The bottle of wine was $800, and this is 1994. The list to get into this place is 6 months long if you are somebody. Mayor Giuliani has a table tonight. If I got up and walked out, I would be safe, but what about tomorrow? I had to think. He sipped his wine and smiled. "You're not drinking." He pointed at my glass, and of course, a waiter filled it. They knew what I liked as well. Sean had a bad temper. He yells sometimes, and okay, he roughs me up once or twice, but he never punched me. He never bruised me, and he never hit Quincy. I would not have stood for that. He never laid a hand on my son at that time. I never thought of him touching Quincy in any way. Then the significance of what he said hit me. Is he mad at Tupac over me? I'm the big D. Do you think it was something as simple as the D? That's a sick man. Hi, Colin. How are you? Oh my God. The last time he put his hands on me, it was because I enjoyed Jamie Foxx too much. Oh my God. Oh my God. Now, The last time he put his hands on me, it was because I enjoyed Jamie Foxx too much. Shit. He enjoyed Jamie too. He gets so insanely jealous. It's not fair. He wants to bring other men into the bedroom, but he gets jealous when he does. Damn. You're quiet tonight, he says, snapping me back into the present. I asked a question that was burning on my mind since I walked into the office. What does Chris think of this? He looked at me coolly and said, his fat ass better just keep doing music. A third guest was escorted over by security. Sean motioned for him to sit. A waiter walked over to Sean Carter. Wait, what? And asked, would you like something? Carter responded, no, thank you. Then said hello to me with a smile. Smiling, I replied, hey, Carter, and took a sip of my drink. The Seans may share a bed together from time to time. I can't, guys. I can't.